Hey guys, it's that guy 276, and I'm here to talk about the HTC One. Not the HTC One X, not the HTC One X Plus, just the HTC One. This is going to be HTC's new flagship device, other than the HTC One X. Sorry, I keep getting messed up. The flagship phone before that was the Droid DNA, and it packed a 1080p screen, full-on specs with everything, with Sense 4.0, which, well, to be honest, I think Android doesn't need skinning anymore. It's got to that point where it's beautiful enough to utilise and have all like HTC don't have to put the skin on Android anymore, because Android isn't ugly anymore. It's very beautiful. It's got like all the blue bars indicating with Jelly Bean. It's got a unified experience. It's got all of this different stuff, and it just doesn't need skinning anymore. HTC skin tries to make it look too dazzy and with too many buttons and all that stuff. But with Samsung, they make it look a little bit too cartoony. That's just my opinion. With Samsung, you've got all these. See, when I first rooted my Samsung Galaxy i9000, I was happy with it, and my uncle asked me, "Do you want so are you going to root it?" And I went, "No, I'm gonna leave it for a couple of it, and then." For a couple of weeks, and then root it. But once I rooted it and see what I could do with it, I did it straight away, and it's a much faster experience. See, my phone, the i9000, wasn't going to get the update to Ice Cream Sandwich because it couldn't run the operating system and the skin at the same time. So Samsung thought, "Nah, we're not updating it to Ice Cream Sandwich." But the Nexus G1 is able to. The Nexus G1 is able to update to Ice Cream Sandwich because it's not got an external skin running in the background. HTC One. It's running HTC Sense 5.0, so it's Jelly Bean. It's Jelly Bean. It's got all the stuff that you'd come to expect. And there's one more thing that they've added, which isn't a major update. It's a blink feed. It's basically, say if you've got like a Google Reader app or a Google Currents app, it's basically like that. But if you swipe left on your home screen, you get all the information, and it's running in the background. And you can have your own customised news feeds coming through. Say, I like to follow Techno Buffalo and I download blog. Well, they will pop up on my home screen, so I'll be constantly connected to the internet and constantly getting my news, so I'm not missing out on anything good, which I like. But it's even though I can easily get it on a widget and put it on the left side of my home screen, it's not that big of a deal. Because I could pay for the Google Reader app. I've not paid for it because it's £3 or something, and I could get the widget, put it on the left side of my home screen, and I wouldn't miss any articles because they'd already be there, and all I have to do is press refresh on it, unless I have it fingered like refresh every 5 minutes, which is a major drain on the battery. But it's still a good thing that they've done. They've tried to get people more connected to the news and try to get more people aware of what's happening outside the world other than the phone, which is quite good. But the same, you can do that with a widget. The HTC One has a 1080p display with a quad-core processor, Tegra, because the HTC One X has already got a Tegra processor running at 1.2, the 4 cores running at 1.2 GHz and the companion core running at 1.5. But they've increased it. The 4 cores are running at 1.5 GHz and the companion core is running at 1.8 GHz, so it's a faster experience. See, phones have become too powerful now. Because Apple, even though Apple are still in the dual cores, Apple have got their operating system and their processors. They're made. The operating system is made custom to them processors, and of course with every iteration they put more things in, and then they scale it down and all this different stuff to make it compatible for their processors. So, as a 4 megapixel sensor, yes, a 4 megapixel sensor, but HTC have said you don't need a 15 megapixel sensor to have a good quality picture. I remember Nokia when they brought out the 43 megapixel camera, and everybody went crazy. The Nokia PureView 808 or the 808 PureView or all that. And people went crazy over it because they wanted. Because imagine that 42 megapixels, and you zooming in and you zooming in, and then you go up to the right pixel, and it could be like 2 miles away of an object. But with HD, I can see what they're trying to do. They're not trying to get people to keep upgrading the camera so it goes up to like a 64 megapixel camera. I didn't do that. A fence has just been blown over while I've not walked next to it, and you can probably tell it's kind of windy. It's kind of what the Atari did. People kept talking about bits and bits and more bits, and then it went up to, and then people like 8-bit machine and 16-bit and then 32-bit, and then Atari Jaguar just came out and went, it's not about the bits, it's not about the bits, it's about the gameplay. And that's what they did. And then they refocused the gaming franchise. And on that note, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next podcast. Bye.